It is time for us to take a stand and unite together in a common cause. It is time for us to stand together and fight for a better future, free from oppression and injustice. We must reject the lies of the Stellar Order and reclaim our future and our rights. We must not be afraid to stand up and fight for what is right. We must not be afraid to speak out against oppression and injustice. We must not be afraid to stand together in solidarity and to fight for a better future. We must be brave and we must be strong.
4 months bled into each other, each day a lead weight crushing Estelle's spirit. The whispers of the approaching regime, a chilling premonition, poisoned the very air of Dyrus. Arlo, once her staunch ally, now loomed as an insurmountable barrier, his unwavering opposition to the program a source of agonizing torment. Tiago, echoing Arlo's fears, added his weight to the suffocating pressure, leaving Estelle paralyzed, trapped in a cage of indecision. The program's necessity clawed at her, its potential benefits a flickering beacon in the encroaching darkness. Yet the courage to defy her friends felt utterly beyond her reach. Tiago, her protector, was a spectral presence. His sudden disappearances, cloaked in mystery and vague references to urgent matters, became the norm. These absences were deeply unsettling, the unknown nature of his tasks fueling Estelle's anxiety. Yet she remained silent, unable to voice her questions. Arlo, ever vigilant, deflected any inquiry with the tired excuse of a Jahizi's relentless demands, a shield that protected Tiago while simultaneously imprisoning Estelle in her agonizing silence. This day, Estelle arrived at work, finding Tiago absent. A sigh escaped her lips, a weary lament for the burden she carried, for the perplexing loyalty she felt towards both men. Then she entered the cafe, her vibrant energy a stark contrast to the oppressive gloom. Zaros's anguished voice, a dissonant echo of his earlier warning, reverberated through the space, stirring unrest.
Dyrus, recognize that you are being misled. I implore you to consider your assumptions and the truth. Angels really exist? Do agents really exist? For many years, our planet has survived in silence. The Order may so easily take those we love away from us. They never come back. When are you going to accept this? All that matters are the tabs, right? For wealth? Why are you so demeaning? Why do you act this way?
Dread coiled in Arlo's stomach. His heart hammered against his ribs as he watched the Stellar Order's propaganda loop endlessly, a jarring juxtaposition of conflict and false promises in a city teetering on the brink. Decisions hung heavy in the air, each soul poised on a knife's edge, the shadows of their past eclipsing the hope of their future. In Dyrus, the true war had begun, a war that promised either profound transformation or utter destruction. Arlo stood in the cafe's dim light, drawing a deep, shuddering breath that felt weighted with the world's despair. A sigh of relief escaped him.
Oh. Hey!
Estelle, blissfully unaware of the turmoil raging within him, rolled her eyes, the augmented shimmer around her like fragments of a shattered reality.
Remind me again why we're working the night shift this week?
Arlo's voice, a tremor in the electronic hum, barely registered.
I'm not sure myself. I hope everything's all right.
His gaze darted to the darkened alley, where Cade and Noah stood like phantoms, their silhouettes melting into the night.
Aren't they from Dago's dojo?
He whispered, a spark of icy dread igniting in his eyes. Estelle's gaze narrowed, feline and suspicious.
Yeah. What the hell are they doing here?
Arlo shrugged, the weight of the world pressing down on his shoulders.
They definitely aren't here for alcohol.
Estelle, her determination a burning fuse, strode into the neon-drenched chaos to confront them.
What are you two doing here?
Cade's nonchalance was a thin veneer, a mask barely concealing the coiled tension.
Hello, dear.
His casual tone was a blade against the raw nerves of the situation. Noah echoed Cade's false bravado.
Hi, dear.
The forced cheer only amplified Estelle's simmering fury. Estelle's irritation surged, a short circuit of raw emotion.
Stop dodging my question.
Cade stammered, his bravado flickering like a dying holo projector.
Relax. We're here to...
A strangled cough cut him short, betraying a hasty, ill-advised meal.
Noah, you tell her.
Noah's desperation flared, a desperate plea in his eyes.
What? Why me? You're the one in charge.
Estelle's fury erupted, a raw electrical current.
Spit it out, you two!
Cade's false bravado crumbled like dust.
Jahisi Iengo said us to watch over you.
That's dumb.
Estelle spat, her voice a laser cutting through the static. Noah, his eyes darting nervously to the twisting shadows, tried to regain control.
No it isn't.
Estelle's eyes flashed with irritation.
What's going on?
Noah stammered, anxiety a virus coursing through his system.
Well, how do we put this?
Cade, desperate to escape the scrutiny, blurted out.
Noah, just shut up.
Arlo emerged from the cafe, his presence a gathering storm.
Hey, boys.
His voice was a low growl. Cade, sensing the storm brewing in Estelle, attempted a desperate diversion.
Arlo, that's your name, right? Jahisi occasionally talks about your bartending skills, and I hear you make a great flaming spirits. Might you show us how you do it?
The forced cheer was brittle, as fragile as shattered glass. Arlo's face hardened into an unforgiving mask.
The lady asked you a question.
Noah, cornered, mumbled.
We don't know.
Arlo's hand snaked into his jacket, the gleam of a cleaver echoing through the alley like a death knell.
Yes, you do.
Estelle gasped, adrenaline surging through her veins.
What the... Arlo! Stop!
Arlo's voice, a chilling whisper, sliced through the night.
Answer the lady's question, or leave with a hole in your chest.
Cade, a false laugh escaping his lips, embraced the spiraling tension.
Was that a threat?
But beneath the neon glow, a palpable dread settled, a prelude to the chaos about to erupt.
Arlo, stop!
Estelle pleaded. Noah's pretense shattered. Diego's voice resonated.
I hope you're not talking about politics right here. Out in the open.
Jahisi, why do you do that?
Cade exclaimed, startled as Diego materialized.
Danger lurks.
Where you least expect it.
Cade and Noah echoed in unison.
That's still your #1 motto after all these years?
It's practically embedded in our blood.
Not if you can't censor Jahesi centimeters away.
Tiago arrived, his demeanor grave. Cade pointed out the obvious.
Distraction's a thing, you know.
You can be a serious distraction sometimes, Cade.
Tiago replied. Noah asked the pivotal question.
Jahezi, are you going to take over now? I was planning to catch up on a game.
Cade interjected.
While there's chaos?
I don't see any chaos.
Noah said dismissively. As the conversation continued, Estelle's breath hitched, darkness closing in. She collapsed, a limp rag doll. Arlo gasped, panic seizing him.
Oh my god! Estelle! Can you hear me? Estelle! Estelle!
Diego's voice, sharp with urgency, cut through the air.
Go for help!
Noah fumbled, overwhelmed by anxiety.
Who? What?
It might be too late to call. We need to get her to a hospital now.
Tiago's voice was a blade of clarity. Diego scooped Estelle into his arms.
Take my car!
Arlo exclaimed.
I'll drive.
Tiago jumped in, urgency propelling him. Diego, cradling Estelle, urged them on. The sterile white of the intensive care waiting room pressed in on Diego and Tiago, a suffocating backdrop to their agonizing vigil. Diego's words, each a heavy stone dropped into the silence, were laced with despair.
This isn't good.
The unspoken fear hanging heavier than the antiseptic smell. Tiago's attempt at reassurance
She'll be fine.
felt brittle, a fragile shield against the encroaching dread. Diego's counter, a raw admission of Estelle's failing health, shattered the pretense.
No, she won't. Her health has been deteriorating for quite a while.
You don't know that.
The relentless television advertisement for the Order, a jarring counterpoint to their private anguish, amplified the suffocating pressure. Diego's gaze was fixed on the screen, a captive audience to the insidious propaganda, his despair a palpable thing.
It's getting worse.
His sigh was a lament, a mournful sound echoing the unspoken weight of the world.
We can all escape this.
Tiago's offer of escape was met with the chilling certainty of Diego's response.
Escaping's not an option, Tiago. The Order has taken over this planet. They will question if we escape. Something beyond the ether is turning unrest. Which is why they are sending mass recruitments to compensate for the losses.
His words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of a world teetering on the brink of collapse. The conversation shifted to a desperate assessment of the planet's plight, the Order's insidious grip, and the futility of resistance.
The Association won't let that
The
happen.
Association is powerless against the Order.
They'll die trying.
That is something I won't stand for. Dyrus is in danger of being underpopulated, and going against the Order is a losing battle.
Tiago's hope, a flickering candle in the encroaching darkness, was repeatedly extinguished by Diego's grim pronouncements. The debate between the brothers transcended their personal fears, encompassing the fate of Dyrus itself. The stark choice, surrender or defiance, was laid bare.
What do you think is the right thing to do?
I will let the Order take what they needed and hope they would leave us alone.
But...
Of course, with the rise of the Association and false conspiracies.
And Dyrus will collapse.
Diego's grim acceptance of the Order's demands, a chilling pragmatism born of despair, was countered by Tiago's quiet rebellion. The finality of Diego's decision,
We save our own.
was a desperate act of self-preservation, a grim strategy to shelter the innocent amidst the impending chaos.
Shelter them.
Accommodate the families with the children first.
The finality of their plan, the cold calculation of prioritizing survival, hung in the air, a stark contrast to the sterile hope of the waiting room.
I know what to do. Consider it done. I'll warn the Zahi.
Leave no detail out.
If they run to the Association?
Let them. They will die before we do.
Let me know what the doctors say.
Tiago's hurried exit left Diego alone with his burden, the silence broken only by the rhythmic beep of the heart monitor, a fragile counterpoint to the looming threat.